When they cut out a maple leaf and laid the square over red territory, they told us it wouldn't be so bad. But then they raised our white-covered stolen lands to be flown as the Canadian flag. I'm going to tell you a story. We tell these stories to pass on knowledges, teach lessons, and learn morals. This story is going to be a bit different from any other story you've heard before because it's not about crow or coyote. It's not about bear or Glooskap. Long before time immemorial, when only the plants, animals, spirits, magical creatures, and the original people roamed this land, there was peace. Yes, sometimes people did not get along, but there was a consensus of how things were and would always be. There was a balance between Mother Earth and her children. The animals gave what they could, and we honored them for their sacrifice. We never picked the first plant, nor the second. We only picked the third plant so that we knew we would not be picking the last ones. We lived like this for more generations than you can count on all the fingers of your family. Then one day a new creature came to our shores. At first this creature was small and hidden. We didn't even know it existed. It came tucked away in the minds of newcomers, finding shelter in the intentions of those who brought it. At first it did not have much power. It did not have a voice, only an inkling of a presence, and we were strong. We kept it at bay. But the creature wasn't the only thing the newcomers brought. On their clothes, in their sweat, laced into their warm exhales was something deadly: sickness. The diseases burned through our people at an alarming rate. No man, woman, or child could escape the illness. As we began to die, the creature grew stronger. For the first time, the creature could speak. It whispered into the ears of the newcomers, influenced their actions. With each task completed, the creature grew more powerful. It consumed our despair until it took shape. With a form, its hunger could not be sated. Its endless greed consumed all the trees, hunted the animal, and fished the rivers until they knew only scarcity. It cracked open the body of Mother Earth and bled her black veins, choked out Father Sky with smoke. It always picked the first plant. The original people were helpless against its will. This creature cared not for our hearts and spirits because it knew we could stand against it, so it tried to control us. It confined us to the tiniest portions of our land. It rewarded those who did its bidding with medals of valor. This creature fed on the languages of our children, separated families to weaken us. It thrived, nameless, until a dozen generations ago when it was finally given a name: Canada. Canada's skin was made up of laws. It had sharp claws that raked schisms into our community so we would fight ourselves. We began to do Canada's work for it. We shamed our people. We kept ourselves under control out of fear for what Canada might do to us. We had heroes that took on Canada, but were often punished harshly. Some of us tried to run away only to discover that Canada was vast and cold. Sadly, we had those that gave up the fight, and Canada tricked many of our people into believing that it was right. But in the smallest of places, our flame continued to burn. At first, resistance was small children whispered their languages out of earshots of Canada in the corners of the schools. We met in secret to share our stories and pass down our elders' knowledges. We learned from each other. People that once warred were now allies, exchanging dance and song, though always cautiously. But then one day, unexpected to Canada, the people who brought it to this land started to see it for what it was. You see, Canada was only as strong as the people allowed it. Its power was drawn from the hearts and minds of those who believed in it, and it became what it was because it only ever fed on hate and fear and prejudice. Creature Canada, as strong and as powerful as it was, had a weakness. It was blind. It couldn't see another world, only the world that it thought it should be. It could not see what we did behind its back. It could not see into the peripherals. Though it was strong because it had no vision, we were able to resist and persist. We created defenses, wrote them down together, the original people and the newcomers. They were promises to each other that would live on from generation to generation, and these promises still exist and are used to keep Canada in check. Though it might try to break these bonds, as long as we are still breathing, it cannot be undone. Today, Canada is alive and well. It continues to pull power from the broken body of Mother Earth. It continues to feed off our spirits through neglect and hopelessness, but all is not lost. Because it is blind, it can be led to where we want to take it. As we navigate these sidewalks of concrete past buildings of steel, they've shaken out the earth from our hearts to mix the cement, demanding we yield to progress. We have been called history and relics for losing our roots. We've replaced our moccasins with that Nike swoosh, but those accusations are coming from you, so full of yourselves that you're blind to our truths. We keep beads in our pockets, dropping handfuls from time to time to roll into the cracks of the streets with which we are still so entwined. We stand tall with our fish scale eyes, reflecting back resilience to those who look to us expecting to see a broken nation, but our spirits have awoken from their colonized hibernation. Your skyscrapers are tall but static. They've stopped climbing. They've got nothing on us because we are still rising. The story is not over. Do you want to help us write the next chapter? Thank you.